Hello everyone and welcome to my Polish cuisine. Today I am baking the Polish royal cheesecake, which is Sernik Królewski. So the ingredients for the royal cheesecake, there's quite a few of them, as you can see. So the first thing is short crust pastry. So we're gonna have 400 grams of all-purpose flour, 4 egg yolks. We're gonna separate those and save the egg whites for the cheese filling. 210 grams of granulated sugar, 3 tablespoons of sour cream, 3 tablespoons of baking cocoa, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, and 250 grams of unsalted butter. As far as the cheese filling goes, we're gonna need a kilogram of farmer's cheese. And this one has been grounded 3 times. So if you get something that is not grounded, by all means do so. And then we're gonna add 5 eggs. But we're gonna separate the eggs and the yolks and just beat the egg whites stiff and then add those in. Then we're gonna need 250 grams of sugar, granulated sugar, 2 packages of pudding. These are bought at a Polish deli store, but you can just add instead. Actually, what it contains is sugar and potato flour. So you could just substitute the potato flour and add some vanilla or whatever flavors you want in there. And probably this contains like about a teaspoon of flour for each one, and I have 2 of those. And then we're gonna have 100 milliliters of oil. You can also substitute the oil for 250 grams of unsalted butter or margarine, but that is less saturated fat for sure. And then vanilla. So I added the powdered vanilla sugar because that has more flavor in there. So that's about all for the ingredients. So now let's get started with the short crust pastry. Okay, first thing is we have to aerate the flour as from the last time. So I'm gonna use the food processor today. It is gonna be way faster than getting your hands all dirty. And this way it makes just a fluffier pastries. So this is the 400 grams of the all-purpose flour. Okay, we can see it's now aerated, it's sticking to the sides. And to this we're gonna add our ingredients, which is the sugar, baking powder, and if you don't have a food processor, you can just mix these in the bowl and then use the board to knead the dough. The cocoa, and the 4 egg yolks. Mix it in. peanut butter. So the dough is already kneaded, and we just remove it. So that was really quick, just takes about 2 minutes. Okay, dough is now done, perfectly fine. It doesn't stick to my hands, it doesn't stick to the board. So just roll it out and then cut it into halves. And place it in the foil. So one of those will go to the fridge for about 30 minutes. Let it cool a bit. And I'm gonna put this one into the freezer, so when I use the shredder for the top, it'll be frozen and easier to deal with. And for the cheese filling, we're gonna beat the 5 egg yolks, add the sugar, and mix. Mix this well for about a few minutes until it becomes creamy, pale yellow. Okay, now let's add the vanilla sugar. Let's add the 2 puddings, or we can add potato flour as well. And let's add the oil little by little and mix again. Let's add more oil. Now we can also begin to add the cheese a little at a time. So the cheese is still mixing. Let's go ahead and beat the eggs then, the egg whites. Egg whites are done. And we'll add it to the cheese. The cheese is now pretty well beaten or mixed. It has no lumps, so I'm gonna start adding the egg whites to it, just to incorporate it in little by little, and then mix again until the process is done. So I have here a pan that is 13 by 9 by 2 inches, and I'm gonna line with this actually this way with the parchment paper. so it'll be easier to lift the cake once it's done. So let's spread this dough on the bottom of this pan. A parchment paper, just line it up. It's just easier that way to move it later. It doesn't have to be really even. Now we can place the cheese on it. Now let's place that cheese over it. It's gonna be a little bit liquidy, but that's how it has to be. And now we'll shred the other piece of dough on it. So this dough is really hard now. I took it out of the freezer and we're gonna shred it with a shredder on a large grater over the top. Now it's done, we'll place it in a preheated, and that's for 300 degrees Fahrenheit for about 60 minutes. So the cake is now baked. It is really crispy on the outside and nice inside. I cut a little bit just to show you. both sides. And the back. So if you like this recipe, please give me the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.